Alrighty guys, so I went over with all the characters that Global will have in terms of SSRs and SRs and giving you guys a hint on obviously the ones that you should really look out for. Now I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to the I call them memories, right? But the memories were a little bit more difficult for me to find purely because one, it seems Global isn't gonna have as many SSRs potentially day one, and two, some of the names have changed, so it was pretty tough. There's a whole lot of SRs, so I'm gonna have to wait until the game releases for me to look into the SRs. But I think what I will do is when Global, when I do the tier list for the memories and when I do the SSRs, I will also mention some of the good SRs in that tier list. I think that's the best way to go about it. But there's a hell of a lot of SRs coming in, way more than I think what JP had at the very beginning by the looks of it. I could be wrong, but anyway. So let's just focus on the SSRs for now, and then when the game releases we can get a full glimpse on what's going on with the SRs. So okay, so 17 SSR or memory SSRs. I think Global is going to be short by like 5 or 4. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out in terms of introducing those, but we're just going to go through them all, and I'll give you guys heads up on ones to look out for. Because once again, in the same situation as characters, you really want to just cater to and invest on specific memories and characters that are going to help you out the most. Since resources on Jujutsu Kaisen are slightly annoying in terms of the amount that is required to work on one character and one memory. So anyway, so I bought local souvenirs. Alright, so HP, so it's at level 55 as it shows, which is fantastic, so increase of 32% on that one. Taijutsu, increase of a 22.71, same with Jujutsu, 22.71% on the increase. It's the effects that's going to be the big seller, so just by getting the initial memory, when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, the command skill is this, by the way, you can activate the card skill. Or ultimate skill is activated, increases own taijutsu damage by 28%. Same for the Jujutsu, 4 turns. Once you limit break it to when you get it to limit break 3, so feeding 3 dupes into it, the percentage play of it goes up, pretty standard. Just by limit breaking it 1 time, when own ultimate skill gauge is full, increases own taijutsu damage by 15%. So with memories, if you limit break every single memory by 1 limit break, so just by getting that 1 additional dupe, every single memory will have a second buff. So it's going to be very crucial to at least walk away with 2 copies of memories if that's something that you're looking for, of course. So yeah, this one isn't too bad in terms of just giving yourself that slight little increase in the taijutsu and jujutsu damage area, of course. So yeah, this is pretty average, pretty decently average, I'd say. We got Pride Jogo right here, just kind of chilling. So this is yeah, 13.30 HP increase, a full-on Jujutsu technique or power increase, of course, by practically 40%. And so with this one, your Jujutsu damage is increased by 55%. If you limit break it to the 3rd mark, then it goes up to 60%. Cooldown and time stay the same, of course. And then if you limit break it once, you get the additional at the start of the turn. If own HP is 50% or below, increases own damage dealt by 30%, 3 times up to 1 time during battle. So yeah, you've got 1 shot to kind of do some good amount of damage. This is one of the decent ones, I will say. Well, one of the good ones. So if you do have a Jujutsu type user, of course, you can really just kind of get some good disgusting amount of damage going, and then obviously once you drop below that 50% mark, yeah, you can really just go for that big ass nuke if you choose to. Not too bad of a Jujutsu damage one, so that's one of the good ones. We got another one, You Carefree Youth, 20.5% HP. Jujutsu and Taijutsu. Taijutsu technique gives you an increase of 31.33%. Jujutsu 21.38%. With this one, when ultimate skill is activated, increases own taijutsu damage by 70%, one turn, one time. If own HP is 50% or below, when activating, increases own taijutsu damage by 30%, one turn, one time. Available after 4 turns have passed, so there isn't a hold to it. You can reuse it after a certain period of time. Cooldown 8 turns, and if you get it to limit break 3, then it will go to 75%, so an extra 5%. And the below 50% HP, you'll get an additional 5%, so nothing too crazy. But the limit break 1 at the start of the battle grants revival status to self for 1 time. So yeah, this one is really solid. This is one of the good ones. So if you do manage to pull this one, yeah, pat on the back, because this one has got full coverage and you get yourself a little revival status going on. So I actually wouldn't mind pulling that one, if I'm being honest. That's one of the ones that yeah, I'll be happy about. Moving along, ooh, adult time. Yeah, this is a fairly solid one. So HP 20.59, taijutsu 21.92%, jujutsu 21.92 for taijutsu, and then jujutsu is 29.95%. Okay, so the initial passive, so when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, increase your own damage dealt by 70%. And when you limit break it to the 3rd mark, it goes up by 5%. And then if you just get the initial limit break, increases all critical hit rate by 10%. This is one of the solid ones, I will say. This is one of the better ones, definitely. So damage increase by a total of 75% if you get to limit break 3. So, but the critical AoE is extremely clutch. So, yep, one of the good ones. One of the good ones. Okay, Dream of the Future Days. So 3202 on the HP, 22.71 on taijutsu, and it's the same for the jujutsu. So when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, recovers all allies HP by 30%. When command skill or ultimate skill is activated, if you limit break it 3 times, you get an extra 5% on that one. And if you get the initial dupe to get to limit break 1, at the start of the battle, decrease all allies damage received by 10%. Yeah, so this one's fairly decent for, of course, if you've got any supporters, or I guess if you've got healers, you throw that in there. Yeah, this is just a really good supportive memory to look out for. So yeah, if that's something that you want to cater to and have just in case, yeah, make sure to have it on your supporters or units in the back. Alright, going forward, push forward with style. 13.30 HP. It's full on Jujutsu damage, so you get an extra 40%, we'll just round it up. So when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, increases own Jujutsu damage by 60%. If you get to limit break 3, you get an extra 5% on that one. And then when you limit break it 1 time at the start of the battle, recovers own cursed energy by 10. Again, this one is okay-ish. It's fairly mid. Isn't horrible, but yeah, it's okay. The strong fooling around. I do love the artwork, but one thing which I will give them, the artwork on this game, solid, very solid. So small increase on HP, small increase of taijutsu, very sad. When command skill is activated, increase own taijutsu by 60%. Get to limit break 3, goes to 65, and then limit break 1, if own HP is 50% or below at the start of the turn, receives evading status for 1 time, once only during battle. Yeah, this isn't cool artwork, but outside of that, that's pretty much it. Believing in each other, here we go. So 20% on the HP, 31.33 for the taijutsu, and then 21.38% on the jujutsu. So when command skill is activated, decreases all allies damage received by 30%. When command skill is activated, sorry, if you get to limit break 3, sorry, you get an extra 5% on that one. Limit break 1, at the start of the battle, recovers all allies cursed energy by 10. Yeah, put that on a tank. Really solid. Or a support, to be fair. I mean, yeah, no, support. What am I saying tank for? I mean, well, technically this also affects tanks too by the damage received, because it affects everyone. Regardless, this is a really good survival and gaining cursed energy. So again, this is one of the better ones to look out for. Desperate Struggles. 3202 HP, 22.71% on the taijutsu, jujutsu is 22.71 of course. Going with the effects, when command skill or ultimate skill is activated, increases own damage dealt by 40% for 2 turns. If HP is 50% or below when attacking, when activating, my bad, increases own damage by 15%. So it's kind of like, should I wait? It just really depends on, you know, the HP and how low it's going to get. I mean, if you can time it right, you can get that extra 15% going on. And then of course, if you limit break it 3 times, you get the additional 5% as per usual, just by getting the initial limit break. So limit breaking at one time at the start of the turn, if own HP is 50% or below, fills own ultimate skill gauge by 1000. This is only a one-time usage. So yeah, this one's fairly decent. So like overall, you guys are seeing like these SSR memories. Yeah, most of them aren't actually too bad, which is a good thing. Wait, well, am I going back? Wait. All right, let's just move on. So Unity makes strength. Oh, okay. Okay, so so I prepared ahead of time. So the HP for this will be 18.3, and this one only has Taijutsu physical attack, and it will be around about the 55. It'll be 55% in terms of the physical attack. So those are the two buffs that you will get. And then when it comes to the effects, activates the commando or special skills, increases the special gauge recharge rate by 30% for 2 turns, and then if you get it to limit break 3, it goes up by an extra 5%. If you just get the additional 1 dupe, if the selected enemy is in break status, recharges the special gauge by 200 points. So this is actually a fairly good one, especially if you're trying to build up for a certain character's special gauge. So yeah, this is a decent one not to be slept on. Alright, so Fraternal Bond, got the 2 sisters right there. So with this one, the HP will be at 27.55%, Taijutsu will be at 43.8%, and then the Jujutsu will be at 29.38%. With the effects, activates when a special skill, so increases physical attack by 80% for 1 action. Activates with special skill, increases physical attack by 85% for 1 action. So again, just a 5%. I should really just consider leaving out limit break 3, because there's always just an extra 5%. But if you limit break at one time, you get the new additional passive for the memory. If the equipping character lands a critical hit, recharges the special gauge by 200 points. So yeah, for any physical attackers, this one's going to be extremely solid to have. So yeah, can't sleep on that one for the physical attackers. Then we got the, I mean, typically this is basically called the Gojo card. So 13.30 HP, 39.90 on the Jujutsu. When the ultimate skill is activated, increases own Jujutsu damage by 8%. Limit break 3, an extra 5%. Limit break 1 at the start of each wave, fills ultimate skill gauge by 200. Yeah, so it's just another good Jujutsu damage dealing one. This is the one that everyone just throws onto Gojo, to be fair. So here we go, Hot Pot Party. So with this one, there's no, wait, I got it, 44.2 on the HP, and then Taijutsu 31.21%, and then Jujutsu is the same, 31.21%. So with this one, activates with commando or special skills, recovers 15% of cursed energy, usable after 3 turns, and then limit break 3 gives you an extra 5%, and then limit break 1, if HP is 40% or below, reduces damage received by 50% for 2 turns. Fortunately, it's 1 per battle. So yeah, I really wouldn't need to concern on this one, to be fair. Yeah, you don't need to concern yourself on that one. Moving along, memories in a corner. Okay, we don't have any of the stats. I joke, I do. 27.55 on the HP, 29.38 on the Taijutsu, and then 43.08 on the Jujutsu. So a lot of Jujutsu increased damage going on that one. Fantastic. Activates with commando skill, applies taunt for 2 turns. Okay, that's pointless. LB1, if the equipping character lands a critical hit, reduces damage taken by all allies by 12%. I mean, yeah, this one is fairly decent in terms of tanks, or if you just need a character to be kind of focused on, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this isn't horrible. It will have its usage, especially with, you know, just having a full-on taunt being applied. I mean, if you want, throw it into Gojo, that, you know, he can't get touched. So in certain situations, this will come in handy. So this isn't horrible. This isn't all too terrible. It's slightly above mid, I would say. The Origin of Conspiracy. Oh, hello, this one. Okay, no, I'm not a big fan of this one, just personal preference. But let me grab the stats for this one. 27.55 on the HP, 29.38 on the Taijutsu, and then 43.08 on the Jujutsu. Activates when commando skills, decreases damage received by 40% for 2 turns, extra 5% when you get to limit break at 3. On the 6th turn from the beginning of the battle, increase all allies' cursed energy consumption efficiency for 3 turns. This was one of the early SSRs that I managed to obtain, but yeah, wasn't really too fond of it. Again, not one that I would really concern myself on, to be fair. I mean, if you want to, I wouldn't really personally, no. Okay, moving along, slight distance. Oh, this one, okay, yeah, so this one's a fairly decent one. 4402 on the HP, 31.21% on the Taijutsu, and then same again, 31.21 on the Jujutsu. Activates with commando or special skill, recovers own HP by 35% and cursed energy by 10%. Limit break 3, again extra 5% on each. And then limit break 1 at the beginning of the battle, decreases the damage taken by 10%. Yeah, this is a fairly decent one. At the very most, so get yourself your cursed energy and HP back up, of course, so it kind of keeps you in the fight that a little bit longer. So yeah, this is a fairly okay-ish one, so yeah, wouldn't sleep on that one either. And then the last one, I'm just going to give you guys, okay, yeah, this should be at 30.22, Taijutsu's at 41.20, and it's the same for Jujutsu, so yeah, that might need to be slightly changed up. But when it comes to the effects, when commander skill or ultimate skill is activated, increases own critical hit rate by 60% for 3 turns. You get an extra 5% on that one. And then LB1, if you limit break at 1 time, from the start of the 6th turn, increases own Taijutsu and Jujutsu damage by 20%, only once during the battle. So yeah, gotta make that count. But yeah, no, typically with this one, any crit users will benefit from this, simple as. So again, this is a fairly good one in terms of crit usage. Or supporting crit users, of course, so that way you can really get a good hit in. So yeah, it's not too bad in that area. But those are the SSRs. Like I said, there are a few SSRs which I'm kind of questioning whether or not if they'll add them globally day 1, but I know these ones are going to be added day 1, of course. So yeah, I think majority of them are decent, so I feel like there's a high chance that you guys will walk away with some good SSR memories that you guys can make good usage. So there's only a fair few which is kind of like not really worth investing, but you should level up a tad bit from the very beginning, right? Because you're just starting out, of course. But again, you've got more of a chance to pull some good ones. There's a fair few SRs that are fairly decent, but like I said, I'm still waiting. Well, I'm going to have to wait for the game to full release to really get in it, to understand what's going on, because there's a lot of SR memories being added from what JP had on day 1, from what it looks like. Makes sense, because if they're shortening down SSRs and putting more SRs in, that actually makes out on why that's happened. So here we go. So when it came to JP starting off, when it comes to like those beginning missions, they gave out free memories of this one. And they gave enough copies so you can completely limit break it. So if they do the same thing, then that would be very nice of them. So this one is basically just giving you some recovery on the HP side of things, of course, and a bit of damage. So at the start of the battle, reduce damage received by 20%. So again, this is a nice little free. Again, I'm hoping that they keep it true to global also. If that is the case, then we've already got a nice little survivability memory going on that we can fully max out and cater to. So fairly solid on that one. But anyway, guys, that is the SSR memories that the game has to offer. So good news, majority of the SSRs looking to be solid from day 1. It's only a fair few which you don't need to concern yourself with. But like I said, in the tier list format, when I do this, I will throw in some of the good SR ones to look out for. So yeah, we'll get on to that a little bit later on.